And welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel. Happy 2021. What a start to 2021. Massive thanks to everyone that's been sending me DMs via Instagram and on the YouTube community tab. Incredible stuff, very moving as well. More about that later on. I don't get too much into what's been happening to me and my personal health. We'll talk about it later on. Anyway, this week it's Mitchell & King. Finally, the Mitchell & King video. There is a ton of products to go through. I have managed to use quite a few this week, but we will be breaking the videos down because it's only fair on John because he sent down a lot of stuff. Now, Mitchell & King are UK based, very small company. Well, you wouldn't have thought that if you looked at the website. It is vast. There's a lot of products to go through. Predominantly known really for these things, they're waxes. Not these in particular, but they make a lot of these waxes, different sizes, different prices, limited editions, you name it. Let's quickly run through these products because I know you want to dive into your gin and tonic or your J2O if you like me at the moment. Right, citrus, dilutable citrus pre-wash, and you can use it as an APC. We have EXILE, which is our instant pre-wash, which is kind of probably along the lines of TFR. We have RIM, alloy wheel cleaner, dilutable. As the wax disappears down there, we have, in no particular order, let's pick this one, snow foam. We have this one, a Carnauba infused shampoo, Syrah, a long life tyre dressing, a heavy duty glass cleaner, Vision, which is their rain repellent, kind of the one you use after the glass cleaner, their top coat if you like. Tyre, which is their high gloss sealant. He also sent down wash mitts and drying towels and buffing cloths. Haven't really used the buffing cloths. I tend to stick to my own ones, but I have used the wash mitt. Spoiler alert in this video. So without further ado, get the crisps you didn't eat over Christmas. You know, the ones that fell down the back of the red wine, at the back of the cupboard, the ones that probably nobody wants. The really cheap ones you got from B&M's. Get them and then pour yourself a very, very big non-alcoholic drink. That's unheard of. Roll the video. Here we go then. Detailing Outlaws. We've got one of these for Christmas. This is called the Buckanizer. Fantastic bit of kit. Put it on your wheel bucket, put all your brushes in, and it keeps you organised. Saves you rummaging around in that cold water trying to find your brushes. Don't worry, I will put a link in underneath this video where you can get them from. So we start with a good, decent rinse. We've got the stubby going from High Definition Detail. If you want to know where you can get one of them from, I'll put another link in because I'm good like that. Because I get asked pretty much every video, where'd you get this from? Where'd you get that from? And sometimes I don't put all the links in. So I do apologise for that. So Mitchell & King Citrus and the RIM Alloy Wheel Cleaner, both dilutable products. Check out the website and the bottles. Not all the bottles have the dilution rates on. A little bit more about that later on in the video. So a good dose of citrus pre-wash. Now Mitchell & King do make an APC as well. That is available via the website, and they make different sizes, which is nice. They go up to bulk sizes, up to 5 litres. So hit it twice because it's still coming out a little bit brown. Now obviously I've sped this up. You don't want to see me fudging around for 2 hours cleaning wheels, do you? 2 hours cleaning wheels? Who does that? Not me. So you already see the difference in the colour of the foam. So while that's dwelling, hit it with a wheel cleaner. The bottles I'm using are from SGCB. I'll put a link underneath the video where you can get those from as well. And they have dilution rates up the side of the bottle. 10 to 1, 5 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 1 and so on. So it's really handy for those guys that struggle working out dilution rates. Oh, for God's sake, what's going on here? I thought you'd have grown out with this double-handed, oh, just filth. Get on with it, come on. We've seen it before. It was funny the first time, but it's not funny the third and the fourth and the fifth time. Unless, of course, you've had a lot of beer and you find it hilarious. Me sticking 2 hands in dark places, disgraceful. Easy brushes, large one and the small one. You can get those via the Amazon link underneath the video. Now this is the first time I actually used this brush on wheels, and I've got to say, really enjoyed it. This is the Max Shine chemical resistant. Notice I said chemical resistant. It looks kind of like a detailing factory one. It's got a rubber coated handle on it, but they are chemical resistant. Now, lots of people have said once these get wet, this style brush, they're never the same. Now, I dried mine out when I finished, rinsed it and dried it, and it seems to be okay. I put my makeup on straight away, no problem. And it's pretty therapeutic, to be honest, using these brushes. It just, you're miles away when you're doing this. Well, you wish you're somewhere bloody warmer, I know that. So make sure you get right in the spokes, don't miss anything. It's time for another rinse down. So what are we left with? Let's have a look, shall we? Ooh, very nice. So do the rest of the wheels. Always make sure you rinse everything off. Then we move on to the exciting stuff. The instant pre-wash. Now, the back of my car is pretty filthy. Once again, dilute this to your needs. Now, if you're buying this in bulk, you can use a pump sprayer. We're just choosing to use the trigger sprays. Most people have these hanging up in their garage. So give this a liberal coating and allow it to dwell. Pretty grimy, isn't it? So we're going to do the lower parts. Now you can use citrus for this, depending on the severity of the filth, shall we say. And I know this is going to be strong. It's probably going to strip the remainder of the LSP on the car, but to be honest, there's not much left on that car. That's what it looks like when it's dwelling. Getting to work on that filth. Now watch this. They say instant, they weren't kidding. More noticeable down the bottom, obviously, while I'm fudging around, rinsing my wiper blade. Watch this. Now there are lots of these on the market. Most of them seem to be TFR based. Not sure on the composition of this one, but I should imagine it's TFR rather than citrus. Otherwise it'd be called citrus, wouldn't it, Paul? And that's the other product. Oh dear. It's been a while. Oh, looking at it going, look at that bit in the middle, get it quick! Don't leave it on there. Don't worry about that, that's going. So make sure you give this a really good, thorough rinse. So apart from some tar spots left on there, there's only a few left. It did a really good job. Remember, this is probably the most important stage in your wash regime. when you're going to inflict the most damage. If you don't do a decent pre-wash, you just think like whacking a snow foam on will suffice. Now in some cases, if your car is not that grimy, it does work, but I prefer to use a citrus based product and then chuck this on over the top. Now we are using the MJJ sealants. I'll put a link underneath this video where you can get one from. They ship all over Europe and they deliver foam very, very efficiently. If you haven't seen a video on this, I'll put a link in. So you're probably looking at that thinking, well, what was the point in that? Well, the top part of the car's not been touched, we might as well just blanket the whole car, a bit of belt and braces. Anything we've missed. Allow that to dwell for around 10 minutes and then I'll rinse down. Lots of people say, why do you go from the bottom to the top? Remember, you're rinsing off a product. You want to see where you've been. You can do it the other way if you want. I'm not going to argue with you. Somebody asked me in the comments section the other day, I was doing it wrong. Oh, I can't be bothered. Right, shampoo stage next. The Carnauba Infused shampoo. The first impressions are always the ones that count. Now, it's not exactly foamy. We have pretty much zero protection on the car, obviously after the pre-wash stage. There is some glidey action, but it's not the most foamy shampoo. The idea really with these products is to keep your protection topped up. I don't really agree with them personally. It's pleasant to use, it's not unpleasant, but it's not something I would reach and grab again. There was a little bit of sheeting on the glass, but it's pretty minimal, to be honest with you. So that, not really a fan of that, unfortunately. But I've got to say, after a drying session, things were looking up. If you haven't seen a video of that dryer, I'll put a link in. Titan High Gloss Sealant. So John was kind enough to supply me with copious amounts of applicators as well. Load it up with 3 or 4 dots and then literally just start massaging it into the paint. You can do the entire car, you can do a couple of panels at a time, depending on the weather. Now, it's quite chilly on this day. I chose to do the entire car. By the time I've got round to the last panel, I know it's cured, and it's had at least 15-20 minutes or thereabouts. Me fudging around the camera, moving that about. I'm rusty, I'm out of practice. It's a pretty old-fashioned product to put on. Now there are some liquid waxes or liquid sealants on the market, but this is the bit where I was like, wow, yeah. The feel of the paint, it's super slick, it's super glossy, and it makes my life really worthwhile doing this sort of thing. I was a little bit concerned because I thought, oh, residue. Now, one thing I will say to you guys is be careful of door handle areas. I noticed when I went around the car after, there was a little bit of residue, but it's so easy to remove. The removal stage is a doddle. And this is why we do what we do, to get results. Once you start seeing your car glossy, it's like, oh, I can relax now. Not keep looking out the window thinking, got to go there and do that car. You can see where it's been applied, curing. So there's no grabbiness to this at all. Comes off very, very well. Make sure you shake the bottle before you do it. Heavy duty glass cleaner next. Now, I didn't really find that, get my words out, that this was actually flashing off that quick. Maybe down to the temperature, air temperature. Dull, miserable day. Sure enough, it cleaned the glass well, but it didn't flash off that quick. Tyre next. Now, unfortunately, down to me being an absolute idiot, I didn't hit record when I was applying it. It's a sprayable tyre dressing, and I believe this is a solvent one. It's got a nice finish to it. I put 2 coats on, and that's what I was left with. Same thing, vision. I did this actually in the afternoon. I'd finished filming. This is the rain repellent. Spray this on, let it cure, massage it in. But I actually found it easy to remove this with a microfiber and apply it. And it beads up lovely. And that is it. Okay, so the Skoda once again looks nice and glossy, and it's got some beading action going on. So we've got some protection level there. More about the protection in a while. Right, what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the citrus. That was the first product we used after our initial rinse down of the wheels. Citrus pre-wash. Now you can use this in the lower parts of the car. We chose to use the instant one this week. This one is probably going to be safer than this one because that's like a TFR base one, I believe. What I would like to see with this is dilution rates on the back of the bottle. They're actually on the website, which is strange because the dilution rates are on the back of these bottles, which are nestled down here. Very, very odd. Citrus smells nice. It did a good job. I had to do it twice because the tyres are just super, super grimy. But it works and it smells quite pleasant. Now, when it comes to rim, once again, you can ramp this up. You can make this super strong. It does say 1 to 4 for weekly washes. My wheels were just grimy, to be honest with you, so there's not really embedded fallout on there. Try and keep on top of my wheels. It did a good job. It smells pleasant, easy to use. It's got a nice foaming action when you're using this. It really clings to the brushes. Now I use the easy brushes. Lots of you say that if you've got sprayed wheels, you'd rather have the wheel woolies. I've never really found any issues. You might get issues on like piano black finishes. It might show up some marring, but I've never really had any issues. And with the lubricants, with this, I can't see there being any problems. So that wasn't bad. Didn't mind that at all. When we get to this one, the EXILE, now this isn't meant for weekly usage. If you're going to one hits, if you're a valeter, if you're going to a really mucky vehicle, it might be the product for you. You want to get done super, super quick. Dilute it down, spray it on the lower parts of the car, and there you go, allow it to dwell, boom, hit it with a pressure washer, done job. But remember, this is obviously going to strip stuff off, it's blooming strong. Well, like that, my paint after, and it was like super squeaky clean. So that was EXILE. It works, okay, it's all you need to know. But be careful on the usage. Next up was a snow foam. We hadn't touched the upper parts of the car, so we had to use another pre-wash. Now you can use the EXILE first, let it to dwell, or the citrus on the lower parts of the car, then coat it with the snow foam. I've talked about this before, extending the dwell time. Once you've got the lower parts of the car coated in your favourite pre-wash, hit it with a snow foam. It just covers the car in a blanket, seals it all in, allows it just to dwell that much longer, especially on warmer days as well. By the way, don't use the EXILE, and be very careful of citrus washes, pre-washes in, so we say, sunnier countries, i.e. not Britain. We only get 2 weeks of summer, so you've got to be very careful in those 2 weeks. You have to buy a gazebo or put it in the garage or do it in a cave or something. Anyway, that was the snow foam. You're getting off topic, Paul. Right. Then we come to Kira, or Kira, pronunciation's awful, Carnauba Infused Shampoo. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these, I've got to say, so did it do anything? It kind of conditioned the paint a little bit. I noticed, obviously, it was very squeaky clean after we've done the pre-wash stages, and there was a little bit of a darkening effect. It doesn't foam up, really. It does say on here 10mm. I'd used this before on a separate vehicle, and I found 20mm was a bit better, to be honest with you. Perhaps because I like a bit more foam in there, but it doesn't really foam up, to be honest with you, so maybe I might have wasted product. But as far as glide action's concerned, yeah, there is a little bit, there's some lubricant there, but I'm not a huge fan of these, I'm sorry to say. I think I'd rather just have a straightforward shampoo, and that's it. Wax infused shampoos don't really do a lot, to be honest with you. There was a very, very slight change on the glass. That's where you're going to see it straight away. You might get a little bit of beading, a little bit of sheeting, but it was very, very minimal. So not a big fan of that, unfortunately. Then we get to the glass cleaner. We'll do the Titan one in a minute. The glass cleaner was okay. Maybe down to the fact it wasn't exactly a warm day. It didn't seem to flash off that quick. Yeah, it took marks off, which you'd expect that from a glass cleaner, but it didn't seem to flash off that quick. But the one I really enjoy, and I did this off of camera, although there's some B-roll on there, is this stuff, Vision, the rain repellent. Now this beaded like crazy, and I really didn't give it that much of a cure time. It does say allow it to cure for a while. I think you're supposed to put these on with an applicator pad, to be honest with you, or a mitt. I actually did mine with a microfiber, and it seemed to flash off incredibly quickly. Very odd, but it beaded like crazy, as you've seen. So that, I enjoyed that. When we get to the Titan now, this, I've got to say, this is probably one of the most old-fashioned products I've used for quite some time, being that it's a cream. And to be honest, I was a little bit worried. I thought it's going to be fussy. It's not fussy at all. The application, it looks a little bit messy, and it's almost, I mean, this is an old-fashioned thing, you know, it's like a sealant and a cream, and you think, oh, that takes me back. I mean, these are about, don't get me wrong, but I've got so used to sprayable products, you know, and spray it on there, the cure, damp microfiber, you know the score, buff it off. This, I thought, I don't know, but boy, oh boy, was I wrong. Amazing gloss levels, like really warm, super glowy gloss levels, and I was really, really pleased with the results from Titan. Now, longevity wise, you're looking, this is, bearing in mind, this is supposed to be a show sealant, up to 4, maybe 6 months, depending on your wash regime. You're going to have to keep on top of your clear coat, i.e. with QDs, that sort of thing. But that is what you'll get out of that. So it'll be interesting to see how long it actually lasts, but really did enjoy Titan. Okay, so in the beginning of this video, I mentioned about the thanks, and I want to say thanks again to everyone that's been supporting me over this quite difficult period. Now, what are you going on about, Paul? Why have you gone all serious? Well, it is pretty serious. So over Christmas, I wasn't very well. In fact, for about 10 days, I wasn't very well, and I ended up collapsing, and we ended up calling the doctors, and I ended up in hospital with COVID and pneumonia. I'm very, very lucky, very, very lucky I'm still here. It's deadly. It really is serious shizzle. It's not good at all. Thanks to the NHS staff, got the right drugs in me and got me better. I ended up on a drip and I ended up on oxygen. So it was pretty serious stuff. But all I kept thinking about was, no, I've got to get out, I've got to get myself fit. And I came out and I'm still here. So thanks to everyone that's been supporting me throughout this time. You know, you've been bringing me up, you've been messaging me, it's been incredible. So thanks to you guys. So thanks for watching. That's the serious stuff. We will be back with more videos. We have an awful lot of stuff to do. In fact, I've told people don't send anything else at the moment because we are so busy. Check out the discount codes below and the links. Check out the websites. Follow the Amazon links, and that helps go support the channel. And we'll be back with more videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.